From a show of hands, who wants to stop feeling like they're working so damn hard and want to actually instead find some balance and leisure with ease and relaxation time? Okay, so here's what we have to do, because society has really programmed into our minds that in order to see the results that we want, we have to hustle and grind and take tons and tons of action. And while yes, action is the final step of the manifestation or creation process, hustling and grinding is just one way to get to your results. And I'm willing to bet that if you were to sit down and really tap in of how you view your life to be and the highest potential of what you truly feel called to do, I'm willing to bet that the majority of you do not truly feel called to spend your life hustling and grinding and having your head down, ignoring and avoiding all of the other love and magic that you could experience in your life. When you truly tap into what you feel called to do, you're most likely taking action, yes, but taking action in things that make you feel good and that excite you and challenges you in almost like a good way, in a positive way, in a fun way. Like we're still stretching ourselves, but we don't view it as stress. We view it as exciting. And with this, you most likely have some kind of balance with leisure time, being able to spend time with your family and your friends, spending time on the other things you feel called to do with your hobbies like painting or dancing, getting your full night of sleep. Right? Like how good does that sound? And this is all a potential reality for you. I want you to know that as it is just as possible for you to experience the reality you're living in right now. So let's talk about how to get there, because I know you want this for yourself just as much as I want this for you. What's up? My name is Sabrina and welcome to or welcome back to the channel. Here in the Better You space, we teach creatives, dreamers, and entrepreneurs how to train their minds to make their daydreams their real daily lives. If you're looking for a full transformation, feel free to check out one-on-one mentorship or our online signature program, Unleash Your Life, with the links left in the description below, and let's get into it. Most people, when they want to make this change of having more leisure and balance in their life, they look at it from a very practical way. And they say, okay, where can I squeeze in time where I can just sit down and relax and watch some Netflix? Or how can I get my work done in 4 hours instead of 6 so that I have 2 extra hours to spend with my friends and family? And although, sure, you can plan it out in this way so that you have more time to relax, but most likely you're going to continue to get caught up in this cycle of always trying to find where you can squeeze in time to relax. You're always going to feel some lingering sense of exhaustion, even when you are resting. And you're not going to be able to experience this true leisure and ease if you don't first shift your belief systems, if we don't wire in new emotional patterns into your mind and body, if we don't first regulate your nervous system. All the changes that you want to see in your life externally first need to be made internally. So if you're running around and you're always feeling like you don't have the time and you always feel like you have so much to do and your to-do list is endless, it's not about knocking different things off your to-do list. Let's look at what internally is causing these external results first. I used to be the queen of overworking, okay? You could not outwork me. If you don't know my story, I used to work overnight shifts, sometimes 24 hours, sometimes 36-hour shifts as an EMT or as an emergency medical technician. I went to school full-time during the day, and then a lot of times after those days, I would work part-time at a restaurant. I was a little cashier girl. On top of that, I was also volunteering at the fire department and volunteering at the local hospital. I did not sleep. I had no time to even think. I worked myself to the ground. I was the queen of not having time to do anything, of having so much to do, of feeling so overwhelmed and stressed all the time. And you know what? Even after I stopped working so much and I ended up leaving nursing school and I had more time on my hands, those belief systems and ways of being were still there. It was still making me feel exhausted. I still racked up my to-do list even though I had less to do. I created more things for me to do. Everything still felt exhausting even though my circumstances changed. And it's because it wasn't the circumstances. It's like even getting back to text messages felt exhausting. I was like, oh, another person texted me. Here's another thing for me to do. Oh, I want to meditate in the morning. Another thing for me to do. Like things that were meant to be relaxing and calming, like meditating, like reading, like just having time to myself. Because of my belief systems of me viewing myself as someone who was always busy and always had so much to do, I viewed these things as exhausting. And they had full potential to be relaxing nice moments for myself. But your belief systems are the filter in which you see everything out of. They're like your glasses of life. They're like your lens of life. Your belief systems, your identity, what you expect, what you assume, these are all tainting the world around you. So I was seeing everything as exhausting and just another thing to do because that is what my lens of life was. And if you are anything like how I was in the past, first off, I just want to say that's okay. There's no shame in the game, baby. And the way to go around shifting that so that you can experience that true leisure and relaxation time and ease that you want is to shift your perspective, shift your belief systems, shift your lens of life. Because when you start to feel differently and see differently, you will start to automatically create different results. And when you start operating out of this calm and level-headed place of knowing you get to have the luxury of leisure, you start to create different results for yourself. Even things that might have seemed overwhelming in the past, you're now viewing it from a calm state. You now can execute on things differently. You can take different actions and get different results because you're operating from a different state of consciousness. Okay, so let's look at your internal state around this. What are your belief systems around time? When you just think about how much time you have in the day and what you have to do, what are the automatic thoughts that come up for yourself? What are the automatic emotions and physical sensations that your body starts to feel when you think about the next things you have to do, what you have to get done, and the time you have in the day? These are all indicators of what is within you that's creating these results outside of you. When you talk to your coworkers or your friends, what's the story that you're telling them? Are you saying things like, oh, well, I have so much to do and maybe I can squeeze you in here, right? Avoid those types of language that follow the story that you don't have the time. Avoid the language of, oh, I'm squeezing you in here. And avoid saying, I don't have the time, or when I have the time, or I'm so busy, or I have a lot going on, right? These are all points of different narratives that create this story that you don't have time. And so what are you creating? A lack of time. Time is but an illusion. Time literally does not even exist. When we look at things from a quantum level, look at atoms from a microscope and see how reality is created. Yes, from our human experience, we see this sense of 24 hours in a day and night. But when you look at reality creation itself, time literally does not exist. Time is a perception. You know how sometimes 1 minute can go by so quickly, like a blink of an eye, and you're like, whoa, like 1 minute just went by. How did this go by? And then other times, say you're like practicing holding your breath, and this 1 minute feels like 5 minutes. It feels like 10 minutes, right? 1 minute can feel really long, or 1 minute can feel really short. And we can practice feeling like we have more time. It is but a perception. Let's change our perceptions of how we view time, because society has us all jacked up right now, thinking that we only have a limited amount of time. How many people do you see out and about that are saying how they have so much to do and they've got to go here and do there and do this thing? And you can sense like the stress and overwhelm and angst that's like coming off of them, right? How many people have that narrative? It's a lot. It's a lot. Can we start changing this, please? Can like each and every one of you who are watching this, can we really start look at ourselves and seeing what in ourselves is creating this? Because 1% at a time, we can start changing this narrative. We can start impacting how our friends operate, how our family operate, how our coworkers operate, and we can start making this impact in the world and show people that they can have leisure too, that we can experience this luxury of leisure. Okay, we don't have to be hustling and grinding. That is a way, but it is not the way. And so many of us are suffering and we don't have to be. Take those words out of your language. Practice saying, oh, I have the time for that. I have more than enough time. Just like you practice shifting your language around money, right? Of saying like, oh, I have more than enough money and you avoid saying things like, I'm broke and that's too expensive, right? Let's do the same things with time. When you're looking to see when you want to schedule your dentist appointment, instead of saying, oh, where can I squeeze this in, right? That's coming from, oh, angst. Oh, I don't have time. We don't want to create that, okay? Let's instead have the narrative of, oh, let me see when this works best for me. Do you notice the energetic shift in that? Of, oh, let me see when I can squeeze this in, to, oh, let me see when this works best for me. Making these little language shifts can tweak a lot in how you even just view and perceive your life. You're making those internal shifts just through these little tweaks. When you start to feel overwhelmed and anxious and stressed about how much you have to do, okay, stop yourself. Notice the sensations in your body. If you don't want to experience it, stop it. You have the power to stop these cycles that you don't enjoy living in. Stop yourself when you notice yourself experiencing this stress and angst around your to-do list and how much time you have. Regulate your nervous system. Okay, I have a video on that of different tools you can use to regulate your nervous system. And then practice your new story that you're writing for yourself, that you're creating for yourself. You know what? I have more than enough time to do these things, and everything is always working out in my favor. And I feel relaxed and I feel at ease and I breathe in spaciousness. Just notice how good that feels when you think about breathing in spaciousness. Like you just have so much space and time and ease. You can expand. You feel good, right? Start to tap into those feelings, those emotions. Start to train your body to feel in these new emotional patterns. And if this is something that you really want to do, you're tired of running yourself ragged and you're tired of just feeling stressed about the time in your day, right? This is something that you really want to prioritize. I say this all the time in my videos and I'm going to keep saying it. You can listen to these videos all you want, but if you're not actively doing the mind training work, you're not going to see the results for yourself. So I really want you to take notes on these videos. I enjoy making these videos, yes, but I am really also making them so that you guys can see results. I'm sharing all of this information for free all the time so that you guys can get some sort of positive impact from it. Write down what is the story that you've been operating out of that's causing this hustle and grind mentality. What belief systems are running the show right now that are saying that you have to work hard in order to get what you want? What even is hard? Hard is a perception. When you think about like how easy and hard something is, something can be easy and hard for something can be hard for one person, but easy for another person. Why? Because they perceive it to be easy. Change your perceptions, change how you are viewing life, and change your experience of life. Right now, if you ask yourself, what do you believe that you have to do in order to create the results that you want? And if you answer this question honestly, and if you see that on your paper you have written down, oh, I need to be working X amount of years, or I need to get X amount of experience, or I need to try and fail 38 different times because I saw my business mentor who I look up to fail 37 times. And so therefore I create this belief that I need to try in order to then create the results I want. You can see that these are your belief systems, that you need to put in all of this work in order to see the results that you want. You can. That is a path for you to get to what you want. I want you to understand that success can come quick. Money can come quick. Your results can come quick. They are right around the corner. They literally exist right now as we speak. In the quantum realm, your desires and your results are right here. All you have to do is put your awareness onto them. But we operate out of our belief systems. So if you believe that you have to work really hard and that you have to try and fail all these times and that you have to put in all of this effort in order to see it, then that's unfortunately what you have to do. Let's change the narrative. Let's start to really understand that your desires are right here. Operate out of the system that you get to have this leisure time. Now, if you have been really operating out of this place of, I have to work really hard in order to get to what I want, and if you change the narrative, right, of I have all this leisure time, and you're working to change that story, I want to share that you still want to work with your belief systems to take the path of least resistance. So if you are in the works of shifting your state of consciousness of you do have leisure time and your success can come quick and your results can come quick, but you know that there are still a lot of belief systems here that are saying that you won't see results unless you put in all of this work. If you try to immediately shift your actions to cutting back your work time by half, and the majority of your belief systems are still, because you're working on it, are still saying that you have to work hard to get what you want, you're going to notice a dip in your results because your belief systems are still here. Okay. So when it comes to this, I want to just give this piece of advice to continue to work with your belief systems until your state of consciousness has fully shifted. If you're seeing good results in your business, but you want to see amazing results in your business and you want to shift this belief system and you cut your work by half, you're going to notice that dip in your results because your old belief systems are still there. Do you get what I'm getting at? So if you're working on shifting this, I would suggest to first keep your work schedule the same, the actions that you're doing the same. I know this might sound a little contradictory with what I teach. But in terms of you working with your belief systems and taking the path of least resistance, I want you to continue to see results. I don't want you to see this dip because you immediately start taking action on your new belief systems, but the belief systems haven't been ingrained yet. I really hope I'm making sense here. I'm pretty sure I'm making sense. So if you start doing this, keep your actions the same. Keep working as you've been working because that's what your belief systems are in alignment with right now. Continue to work on your story and your identity and your perceptions, right? Repeat the story, do the self-talk rampages, say your affirmations. And then as the story starts to ingrain more and more, as you start to really feel into, oh, you know what? It is possible for me to create this. And I do feel more relaxed and I do feel like I have more time. Then you can slowly start to shift your actions and your habits and your schedule to match this. Okay. But work with your belief systems. Don't put yourself into a hole by immediately jumping into taking these actions because your belief systems have not yet aligned to that. It's kind of like a balancing act when it comes to this in order to see the results that you want. But work with your belief systems that you have now. Be smart about it. And adjust as needed, adjust as you feel, okay? So if you got to this point of the video, leave a clock emoji in the comment section below so I know who made it to this point. Let me know what you liked about this video in the comments below. I love to hear back from you guys. Give this video a thumbs up to help out the channel. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified every time I post a new one. And I will see you in the next video.